Welcome to Stock on a Dime, tip number 4. If you haven't had a chance to look at stock tip number 1, 2, or 3, go check it out when you get a chance. These are in no specific order, but here is tip number 4. It's talking about how many companies or shares should we invest in. Well, in our Robinhood account that we currently have, we have roughly 15 shares that we currently are holding. In this portfolio that I have set up for just Robinhood, we have over 45 companies. Now, out of these 45, there are 15 to 20 that I really keep an eye on a day-to-day basis. And then there are some times where companies like this, GEO, is way down right now. In the last 200 days, it's gone down 14%. NI, another great example, it's down 8%. And NJR, another good example, is down almost 7%. So when we get these red flags, I like to really look into a little bit more detail. So if you go back and watched our tip number 1, tip number 2, and tip number 3, tip number 1 talks about PE ratio. So GE would fit under our tip number 1 for sure. And then the chart, GE would fit under that because it would probably not be on this list if it's not under my chart tip number 2. Tip number 3, keep it simple stocks. So anyway, so far GE would be a great example that I might do a little bit more research and possibly invest in. But the question, the reason why we're here is how many shares or how many companies do you invest in? Well, the share is going to vary depending on the price and so on and so forth. But companies, how many companies do you usually invest in? If the stock market is up, we will only hold 10 to 15 because we've already sold and made a little profit on our day trading or our swing trade or short-term investment. If it's a long-term investment, you might hold up to 20 or 30. So to answer a quick question, how many shares do you usually hold? We will hold anywhere from 15 to 30. Usually 20 is a good number. Anything beyond 30 is too many companies to watch. Anything under 10, you have that simple rule of don't put all your eggs in one basket. If you only have 10 companies and one of them fails, your best you're going to do is 90%. So I hope that helps out. Again, a good rule of thumb, how many companies do you invest in? We invest in 10 to roughly 20 on a day-to-day basis. Hope this helps out. Check out our other helpful tips and like us on Facebook and YouTube. Thanks for watching. Stock on a Dime.